they're not in their grave.
Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? It's me, Ryan.T. Welcome to another edition of Saturday Night Horror. That's right, ghouls and gals. Back with another bone-chilling, hair-raising episode of Saturday Night Horror Theater. And on tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the 2006 video game horror movie starring Malcolm in the Middle himself, Frankie Muniz, Stay Alive. And we're also going to be talking about The Last of Us Episode 4 and 5. But before we do all that, I got to open up a beer, ghouls and gals. Oh, yeah. Horror movies and beers with me amigos. Is there anything better than that? I think not. Alright, ghouls and gals, let's just get right the fuck in it. First I want to talk about the Last of Us. I got a little too excited there about Pedro Pascal. First I want to talk about the Last of Us episode 4 and 5. I like to call these pair of episodes the Misadventures in Kansas, or the Wacky Adventures of Ellie and Joel, the Kansas edition. And yeah, ghouls and gals, these two episodes, they're kind of like we get a small little episodic arc there in the Last of Us, like a little mini story, so to speak. We get to find man, the Pedro Pascal man is just doing his magic on me here. We get to see this settlement in Kansas City that's basically claiming that it's, infection free, that they don't have any clickers, they don't have any bloaters, they don't have any zombies, they don't have any mushrooms, there's no shrooms, nothing like that. And Ellie and Joel stumbled upon this place after leaving Sam's house, which, oh my god, man, episode 3, so fucking good. But we're not here to talk about episode 3. If you want to see my review of episode 3, go back to the last episode of Saturday Night Horror Theater where we talked about the third episode. But yeah, this episode takes place directly after that, and we see Ellie and Joel in their bitchin' blue and white S10 that looks like the fucking Whataburger mobile. And we see them cruising along fucking to Kansas City, and they kind of get like lost and stuff like that. And what ends up happening is while they're lost, they encounter these like kind of like resistance fighters that aren't like part of the Fireflies, I don't think. Or no, they're not part of the Fireflies. And they start attacking Joel and Ellie, which causes them to crash into a fucking building. And they get off in the building because they're taking fire. And that's when we see Pedro Pascal get to work. He turns into the fucking Mandalorian, and he starts fucking kicking some fucking ass, man. He kills like a couple of people in there, and then Ellie's all freaked out because she sees him like go all fucking crazy and shit like that. And then somebody gets the jump on him, and then we see Ellie bust out that fucking pistol, man. Ellie busts out the fucking blicky, and she fucking saves fucking Joel, and it's her first her first kill or whatever. And it does two things. It does two things that I noticed. It one brings these two characters close together, and it also shows like Ellie hardening. It shows like this world is hardening this little kid. You know what I mean? Even Pedro Pascal says in the episode, he's like, you shouldn't have to know about these kinds of things. You know what I mean? You're just a kid. You shouldn't have to like be killing people. You shouldn't have to fucking deal with it. And so he feels bad. So he apologizes to her, and she's kind of just like, whatever. But we see like this kind of look in her face when she kills like the guy that's on top of Joel, and it does something to her. And but yeah, man, these pair of episodes 4 and 5, they further like the bond that Ellie and Joel have. You know what I mean? They get this kind of father daughter type relationship and stuff like that. And I really like what they're doing as far as like character building and stuff like that. And for those Last of Us diehard fans out there that played the games and stuff like that, I just want to let y'all know that I've only played the first one only up to a certain point, and I played a little bit of the second one when it was like a demo, like on the PS4 Pro or whatever the fuck back in the day, or not back in the day, but you know, a few years back. So I didn't know about the whole wacky Joel and Ellie's wacky fucking Kansas adventures. So this episode was or the fourth episode was really fucking good, man. And but you could tell it was leading up to something bigger, because at the end of the episode, Joel and Ellie, they take refuge in this other building where they're kind of hiding from these resistance fighters, because now they're being hunted by these resistance fighters because they killed like a lot of their fucking members. You know, Joel killed probably like 3 or 4 of them, and so now this character named Kathleen is looking for them, and we find out that Kathleen is this leader of these resistance fighters that has gotten fucked over by the people, by a bunch of people there, and she's looking for a person named Henry, and we keep hearing that throughout episode 4, and we never see this like Henry. But yeah, episode 4 is really fucking good. It's a real good like builder episode. They're continuing to build on the relationship between Joel and Ellie, and I really fucking dig it, man. And going back to kind of like the plot of the episode, at the end of the episode, Joel and Ellie, you know, they're kind of like goofing around. Ellie keeps telling Joel these knock knock jokes that she has in her fucking book, and they're like fucking terrible. And they have this like nice scene where you know, Ellie tells Joel a joke, and he tells her like the punchline before she's able to say it, and she's like, "How did you know?" Like, he's like, "You read it," and he's like, "No, shut up, go to sleep." And like, it's a cute little moment or whatever, right? But then cut to, we fast forward a little bit after they take a little fucking nappy nap. They got the fucking blicky to Joel and Ellie's fucking head, and the fucking Ellie's like, "Yo, wake the fuck up! Wake the fuck up! We done got! We done got! There's these fucking 2 motherfuckers up in here. They're gonna fucking shoot us and shit." And that's where the episode ends. You see a small kid and an older guy. Not older like old, but you know what I mean. It's, you know, you can tell he's older than the kid. He's like, you know, in his 20s or something like that. And that's where episode 4 ends. And episode 5 takes place directly after that fucking moment. And the cool thing about episode 5 is that we got a little bit early, thanks to the fucking Super Bowl, which I don't really give a fuck about football or anything like that, but if I can watch The Last of Us a little bit fucking early, I'm all fucking for it, man. They should have a Super Bowl every fucking week that The Last of Us is fucking out, so I can get it a little bit fucking early. I feel like a fucking crack addict or some fucking shit. I'm like, fucking feed it to me, motherfucker. I want some more Pedro Pascal and some more fucking clickers and some more fucking all that shit. Give it to me, motherfucker. But yeah, episode 5 takes place directly after that moment when we see Ellie and Joel getting ambushed, and we quickly learn that the little kid accompanying the guy that's ambushing Ellie and Joel is deaf and mute, or mute rather, and they basically tell them like, "Hey, look, we're not trying to hurt y'all, we're not trying to rob y'all or anything, like, we need y'all's fucking help. Like, we noticed that y'all need to get the fuck out of Kansas City. Well, we need to get the fuck out of Kansas City." And we come to find out that this character is the Henry character that we kept hearing about in the prior episode, in episode 4. And yeah, like, this episode, man, like, it's one of those action episodes where, like, the action is just... Episode 4 had some action in it, but this one has, like, one of the best action scenes, like, that I've seen thus far in the series. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, we get introduced to Henry and Sam, and they are this brother duo, which, again, the youngest one is Sam, and he's deaf, and he's also battling leukemia. And we come to find out that Henry's being hunted by Kathleen and the Resistance because he killed Kathleen's brother in return for medicine to save his brother his brother Sam. Well, he didn't kill him like in his own hands or whatever, but he like ratted them out. He's a collaborator, as they say. He was collaborating with the Fedra agents or whatever, and he's basically a fucking rat and shit like that. And so he basically tells Joel like kind of that or whatever, and then he tells him like, hey, you know what I mean? I can get y'all fucking out of here, but I'm not a violent person. I don't know how to kill these motherfuckers. And you said that you fucking survived a fucking clicker, which nobody's fucking done that. You're out here like fucking Rambo in the post-apocalypse, a fucking Mexican Rambo. You're fucking Rambo, Miguel Rambo, and you're fucking out here killing people and shit like that. And I need your help, motherfucker. I need a badass motherfucker like you, and your little like Robin sidekick chick can also come because she has a gun, because she has a gun. And so yeah, they agree to kind of help each other, and they make their way like out of this area, out of this kind of like segregated kind of Kansas City area there, and they make their way into these tunnels that we kind of heard about in the prior episode. And if you watch the prior episode, you saw that there's something going down there in the underground. There's something brewing down there. And well, Ellie, Joel, and Sam and Henry go down there, and they find this kind of like little like abandoned like shelter that people kind of took refuge in like right after like the day of the outbreak and shit like that. And that's when we kind of get a little bit of like Henry and Sam bonding with Ellie and Joel, and like they kind of come to like care about these characters because like Joel sees a lot of himself and like Henry, and a lot of him and a lot of you know what I mean? Like their situation, Henry and Sam's situation is very similar to like Joel and Ellie's situation. And so like Joel's kind of like, I got to help these people out and stuff like that, cuz he sees a lot of himself in them or whatever. But yeah, man, this episode 2 is like really fucking good. We kind of get like the whole bonding with these other new characters, and we also get the furthering of Joel and Ellie's relationship and stuff like that, all while we're dealing with this kind of like plot of like this other plot of this character Kathleen trying to get fucking revenge. And she's like a evil fucking bitch, man. She's like a fucking hardcore fucking Karen. That Kathleen fucking character, the whole entire time that I was watching episode 4 and 5, I was like, I want that bitch to get fucking shot, or I want a fucking clicker to a fucking attacker. I just want something to happen to this fucking asshole. And I did, Jesus fucking Christ, the actress that played her did a great fucking job, because I hated that fucking bitch. I wanted that bitch to fucking die. But Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, as the episode progresses, we see Ellie, Joel, and Henry and Sam. They make their way out of the tunnels, and they're encountered by this man, and that man that's like in this house, and he's shooting at him sniper style. And like, so Joel's like, "Hey, y'all stay here. I'm gonna go around back, and I'm gonna fucking take this motherfucker out." And Joel goes up into the house, and then he fucking tells the old man. He sees that it's an old man, and he's like, "Hey, yo, cut that shit out, man. Like, chill. Like, please, chill." And then the old man's like, oh, like he raises the gun to Joel, and Joel has to fucking cap his ass, man. And so Joel caps his old fucking man ass. And Joel's kind of like, he's kind of at this crossroads or whatever, because he's like, man, I really didn't want to kill that fucking guy. But he doesn't have any time to deal with that, because as he hears on the radio, he hears Kathleen saying like, hey, just hold him there, and to Anthony, that's the guy that Joel just killed. He's like, just hold him there, Anthony. He goes, we're almost on our way. And that's when Joel sees like this giant fucking brigade of like fucking cars that look like something out of fucking Twisted Metal, and they're like just like slamming through the fucking neighborhood and fucking shit like that. And then Joel's like, run! Like he's telling like it's that Sam. He's telling fucking Sam and Henry and Ellie to get the fuck out of there. But like in typical like movie or TV show fashion, they don't hear him. They're like, what? You want a bun? What? This is fun? Huh? Obi-Wan? We can't hear you. What are you talking about? And he's like, fucking over there. They finally like turn around and look over there, and they see like the big fucking cars coming, and they fucking they start taking off running and shit like that. And that's when Joel goes into fucking expert fucking sniper mode, and he starts trying to snipe out the lead fucking truck. He's like he's trying to fucking shoot it, and he finally successfully shoots the fucking driver of the truck, and the truck like fucking cascades fucking across the fucking street, and I'm using a lot of fucking $5 words, man. I'm fucking on it today, man. Anyways, the truck fucking goes across the street like that and just fucking slams into this fucking house, and then like explodes and causes this fucking diversion where Ellie, Sam, and Henry are able to kind of run away. And as the truck explodes, it makes this fucking crater in the ground. And wouldn't you know it, a bunch of fucking clickers come out, and we finally get our first bloater. And the bloaters are basically these fucking cracked out, fucking souped up, fucking on steroids, fucking clickers that like they're like hulked out and shit like that. And I think if I remember correctly in the game, if you shoot them, they like explode and they let that like toxin out everywhere. So yeah, one of those is on the loose and it starts attacking Kathleen and all her resistance soldiers and shit like that. And so Ellie and all them are able to kind of like run away. And then we see like in the midst of like the chaos, Ellie and Sam and Henry kind of get like separated or whatever. Ellie runs away into this car. She's getting chased by this little kid clicker. Sam and Henry run underneath this fucking car. There's a lot of car action going on. And they're stuck underneath this car, and we see them kind of getting a little bit attacked and stuff like that. Meanwhile, Joel's like kind of up there in the tower, like Resident Evil video game style, like shooting like all the fucking zombies and shit like that. That's one thing that this video game adaptation does really well. Like, it doesn't forget that it's a fucking video game adaptation, and it's very video gamey. Like, it's just taking pages right out of the fucking video game. It's literally like you could put up, and they've done this a lot, all the video game blog sites and all that shit. Like, you could put they've been putting side by side comparisons of like the video game and like the show, and it's like seamless, so fucking good. But it's done in a way into where it's like not a carbon copy, you know what I mean? Like fucking Pedro Pascal and the actor that plays Ellie are able to kind of like make this like their own and stuff like that, so it stands on its own, but it also doesn't stand or stray too far away from the source material. But yeah, anyways, getting back to what I was saying, yeah, Pedro Pascal's up there shooting all the fucking clickers, shooting like whatever to kind of get everything out of Ellie's way and stuff like that, so that way she can get to Sam and Henry. And she successfully does that, and they all kind of like escape. And then that's when Kathleen confronts them, and she's like, time to die, motherfucker. And then Ellie's like, I'm out of bullets. And then she's like, fuck, what are we gonna do? And that's when a fucking clicker attacks Kathleen's bitch ass, which I have been fucking waiting for. And you don't know how fucking good that felt when I saw that bitch get attacked by that fucking clicker. When I saw her face get beaten to death by that fucking clicker, because that motherfucking clicker jumped at her ass like a fucking spider monkey. Like, it fucking jumped at her and it was like, it was getting like the monkey paw. It was like, it was like doing one of those. It was fucking crazy, man. It beat her to death, and I was like, oh, yes, like I got fucking like life, like I got life force from it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It was really fucking good, and after we see that happen, they escape from Kathleen, they escape from this fucking hive of fucking clickers and shit like that, which this action scene is so fucking amazing. It was so fucking good because none of it was like CGI. Like, I watched the behind the scenes after the episode, and they used real fucking actors, real people. They used like real stunt and movement people to do like the whole entire fucking clicker scene, and like it looks so fucking good. And like 5 years from now or 10 years from now, whenever people revisit The Last of Us, they're going to rewatch this show and they're going to be like, oh, this show looks so fucking good, because they use a lot of real practical fucking effects. And that's what all these fucking video game things need to take a notice of. And horror in general needs to take notice of. Use practical effects. CG ages like fucking dog shit most of the fucking time. I don't know why I keep doing like this, like I'm an angry Italian fucking podcaster, like, or if I'm like angry Tony Soprano, I'm like, hey, yo, T, I fucking hate when they use the practical, when they don't use the practical effects, T, gabagoo. But yeah, they finally escaped from that bunch of all that bullshit, and they make their way to like this kind of like this kind of like safe area or whatever. And that's when we see Sam, the younger one that's deaf or whatever. He is going to he's going to bed or whatever, and he's kind of interacting with Ellie and stuff like that, and they kind of have like a heart to heart, and they've kind of been palling around the whole episode, and they kind of been bonding over like comic books and, you know what I mean, being kids in the fucking apocalypse and the zombie apocalypse or whatever. And well, Ellie and him are talking or whatever. They're using this little like etch a sketch type thing that he uses to communicate, and he starts asking her, you know what I mean? He's like, what happens if you turn into a monster? Like, are you still yourself, like in the inside? And she's like, basically like, why the fuck are you asking me that? And then he like lifts up his pant leg, and textbook fucking zombie shit. He's fucking bit. The poor little fucking kid is fucking bit. If having leukemia wasn't enough, if living in the fucking zombie apocalypse wasn't enough, he fucking also got bit by a fucking clicker. And Ellie has this like moment where she's kind of like, oh, this is my fucking task, like this is my fucking job, my fucking blood is fucking medicine. I'm gonna cut myself open, I'm gonna drip some blood on this bad boy. Like if it's fucking Vicks, she was about to fucking échale de sangre. Like if it was fucking Vicks, she's like échale Vicks, and she was about to fucking rub that shit all over there. And yeah, like it doesn't work that way. And she found that out really quickly. She was like, oh, I don't know science well. But yeah, man, he asked her, he's like, will you stay up with me? Like, don't go to sleep, like, stay up with me. And she's like, okay, I'll stay up with you. And she, of course, falls asleep because that's, like, the Ellie thing, as we've seen. Like, she falls asleep all the fucking time. And she wakes up, and this motherfucker turns full fucking zombie clicker and attacks her and stuff like that. And she stumbles out of the room. And Joel and Henry are kind of, like, conversating and talking. And Joel basically already, like, told him, like, hey, you can come with us to where we're going or whatever. I think they're going to Wyoming. I think that's where they're going. He's like, you can come with us to Wyoming, or he's like, and he's like, yeah, I would really like that. Like, I would really like that a lot. And they're basically like bonding, you know what I mean? And they're really become like a unit until Ellie and fucking Henry or Sam rather come tumbling into the fucking room, and then they're like, whoa, Joel's like was like about to kill like the kid, and then fucking Henry gets the gun from Joel and then kills him like out of impulse, like not Joel but kills the kid out of impulse, and he's like, and everybody's like, whoa, what the fuck? And he's like, what did I do? Henry's like, what did I do? What did I do? And he's like, oh, and he fucking kills himself. And yeah, that's kind of where the episode ends, and you see like them have to do like a little makeshift like burial for Henry and Sam, and it just further hardens Ellie's character, you know what I mean? And you just further see her become more like cold and more like dead, and like you know what I mean? Like not literally dead like fucking Sam and Henry's fucking punk ass, but emotionally, you know what I mean? You can see that it's emotionally like starting to get to her or whatever. And even Joel has this moment where he's looking at the burial that Ellie and him made for Sam and Henry. He's just kind of like, fuck, man, like sooner or later that's going to be me and Ellie, or that's going to be me or Ellie, or both of us. And yeah, really good episode, really well done. I really dug what they did with this episode, and how they handled it, how they handled it and how they executed it. It was so well done, so fucking good. Yeah, if I had to rate both episodes, I think I'll give both episodes like a solid 8.5 out of 10s. Yeah, we do star ratings here, right? So like 3.5 out of like 5. You know what? I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Like both episodes are really fucking well done. Pedro Pascal and the actress that plays Ellie continue to just like fucking crush these fucking roles. The action continues to be amazing. The acting continues to be amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. Everything in this show is just fucking amazing. I cannot wait for episode fucking 6, where hopefully we finally get to see Joel's brother and we come into contact with him and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm really fucking stoked. I really am digging The Last of Us. Also, let me know in the comments what y'all think about The Last of Us, and what you thought about both of these episodes. And also let me know, Are you watching The Last of Us? If you're not, why the fuck aren't you? And if you're not, oh, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for watching the podcast, even if you're not watching The Last of Us. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, ghouls and gals. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about staying alive, staying alive. That was so corny. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry.
私と仕事どっちが分かってくれよどうしてパッと片付けて帰ってくる来たいつよりこういうザ・ハウス・オブ・ザ・デッド2ドリームキャス出てくるゾンビが怖くてさゾンビゾンビが鷹を生む課長温泉でゾンビにしたいな撃っとけザ・ハウス・オブ・ザ・デッド2もうごゾンビドリームキャス
Pop the hood. The hood.
It's Twisted Metal 4, and Sweet Tooth is large and in charge with all the high-octane attitude you've come to know and love. 989 Studios.
Rated M for mature. U.S. Agent Leon Kennedy is on a search and rescue mission. What he finds is pure evil. The award-winning must-have action title of 2005 is now a PlayStation 2 event. With new weapons and an additional storyline featuring the mysterious Ada Wong. Evil has evolved. Resident Evil 4 for the PlayStation 2, only from Capcom.
And for those of you that are just tuning in, welcome to another edition of Saturday Night Horror Theater. Saturday Night Horror Theater. And again, for those of you that are just tuning in, we're going to be talking about Stay Alive. Well, let's just get right into it, man. Staying Alive. I still had the fucking song in my head. Stay Alive is a 2006 film. 2006. Jesus fucking Christ. It came out on March 24th, 2006, and it's directed by William Brent Bell, and it was co-wrote by William Brent Bell and Matthew Peterman, and it stars John Foster, Samara Armstrong, Frankie Muniz, Jimmy Simpson, Milo Ventimiglia, Sophia Bush, and Adam Goldberg. So it has like the most like mid-2000s fucking cast of all time. And yes, for those of y'all that are a little bit confused, this is the movie where the video game kills people. And the tagline for this movie is just fucking amazing. You die in the game. You die for real. I like how they didn't try to put any like sort of like fucking nuance or anything like that. They're just like, people die in the game when they play the game. And I like that. I kind of dig that. First off, I want to get that out of the way. Speaking of kind of liking it, kind of digging it, I kind of liked it and I kind of dug it. I kind of like Stay Alive. I'm gonna fucking keep saying staying alive. I'm gonna keep fucking saying that. Fuck. I'm gonna try not to. But yeah, I liked Stay Alive. It was a fun, little cheesy, like little, almost a horror comedy because of the way like it aged. You know what I mean? A lot of the effects are CG. You know, to my last point. So they didn't age very well. They're kind of a little bit funny. Like they, the villain of this film, who is the Countess, as they call her, Elizabeth Botheroy, the Countess. Her thing is like running over motherfuckers with like a horse-drawn carriage, and she does it a few times in the movie, and it just looks so hilariously fucking bad. Like they run over them, and it looks like they're running over like fucking a character from like Mario 64. They're like. Like they run over them, they're like, woo, woo, go, let's go. And it looks funny. But other than that, the movie's fucking good. You know what I mean? It's really one of those fucking movies where you wish they could have took this idea a little bit further. You know what I mean? I really wish there was a part 2, or like if they would have remade it, or if this would have started some sort of other like kind of trend with movies, and they're like, well, we're gonna try to make the video game horror movie, and then we're gonna try to make another video game horror movie. I wish that would have became a thing, but it didn't. And that's a weird thing about Stay Alive, man. Like, I feel like it has all of the ingredients to be like a cult horror film, but for some reason it never became a cult horror film. So I'm here today to make this fucking video so that way I can make it a good fucking cult horror film, so I can make Stay Alive a cult horror film. Can I get a fucking amen, boys and gals? Can I get a fucking amen? Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, honestly, I think this film deserves cult horror film status. It's like silly, the right amount of silly. It has like gore, especially if you're watching the unrated version, because if you're a dumbass like me, you watch the theatrical version, because I totally forgot that there was a fucking unrated version, which I should have fucking downloaded that one. Also, I'm gonna take a little detour here. Why is it so hard to find like fucking older movies? I couldn't find Stay Alive anywhere. It wasn't streaming fucking anywhere. And that's because I have fucking Netflix, I have fucking Hulu, I have fucking YouTube TV, I have fucking Pluto, I have fucking Tubi, I have fucking Amazon Prime, I have fucking Peacock, I have fucking Stars on Amazon Prime. And this movie was on none of those fucking streaming services. So you know what I had to do? I had to fucking put on a pirate hat and get my fucking Jack Sparrow on and head over to the fucking bay, the Pirate Bay. I was swimming the fucking seas of illegal fucking streaming. And now I get why people want to fucking preserve like physical media, because like some movies are going to become like lost media because we can't find these fucking things because they don't want to fucking put them anywhere. But yeah, I was going crazy looking for this fucking movie, so finally, until I finally broke down and just fucking shivered me timbers and became a fucking pirate and fucking got the shit illegally. But yeah. Before we get into like the fucking meat and potatoes of this film, or should I say, before we get past the tutorial, before we get past the tutorial, let me let y'all know about the plot of the film. The plot of the film is basically what happens is Milo Ventimiglia's character is playing the video game Stay Alive like late at night and stuff like that, and he's starting to play the game, and he dies in the game, so he's kind of like, fuck this game, I don't want to play it, I'm gonna fucking take a break for the rest of the night. And then he starts fucking seeing shit, you know, fucking bumps in the night and shit like that. And the way he died in the game is how he died in real life, not before seeing the gruesome deaths of his fucking roommate. And fast forward, his friend Hutch meets Abigail, a friend of Sarah's, and he receives some of Loomis's possessions, who's Loomis is the guy that died in the beginning of the film. And inside of his little backpack or whatever that they give him, it's the Stay Alive game. And we have this kind of like obnoxious, like douchey character that's like in every fucking like movie. And he's kind of like, hey, bro, let's play the game. Let's play the game that your friend died playing, bro, because it'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, I'm the 2000s fucking funny man. Fart. And so, like, that guy convinces him to play the game. And so they gather, like, a little bit of a friend group to play the game and stuff online. And they play the game or whatever. Then none of them, like, die except for Hutch's boss, who is, like, playing with them because, you know, reasons. And it's Adam Goldberg who plays the character, and Adam Goldberg dies after he kind of goes like down these like secret tunnels or some shit like that. And his video game character goes down these secret tunnels, and he gets killed by the Countess, who again is the villain of this film. And he gets like scissors through the fucking neck or some shit like that, and he dies like that in real life. And as you can see, there's sort of a pattern going here. You know what I mean? All these fucking teenagers. That I thought that was one thing that's funny. They kind of don't do that now a whole lot, but they had some old ass looking fucking teenagers in this fucking movie. They had Sophia Bush, who looked like she was like 27 years old, trying to portray a fucking teenager. Like, I don't know why they don't just like make them like college like leveled people. You know what I mean? Like, they showed that some of them had like jobs and stuff like that, but like they were like young like interns and shit like that. Like, why not just make them what their age is? Like, you know what I mean? And have them drinking beer and shit like that. You know what I mean? But other than that, that's kind of like my only gripe with this fucking movie is that, you know what I mean? But other than that, I really enjoyed like Stay Alive. I like the plot of it, and I like that it kind of captured that whole like video game like culture of that era. You know what I mean? It was very like X-Play, G4, you know, Game Informer, or like Xbox One, you know, that type of fucking thing. It like reeked of like Mountain Dew and like fucking Cheetos and shit like that, but like in the best way fucking possible. You know what I mean? So much so that I'm actually kind of bummed out that they never made a part 2 to this fucking movie. And I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, which granted I know is probably not the most accurate of fucking information, but it made money. It made $27.1 million on a $20 million budget, so it made $7 million profit, which I know isn't a lot, but it made a fucking profit. You know what I mean? I don't see why we can't get another Stay Alive Part 2, man. Get Frankie Muniz, you know, and get him together and get all the gang back together, and let's make Stay Alive Part 2. We can do an undead version where, like, all the characters that died, they're now in the video game, and Hutch and the chick Abigail who survived, they can try to fucking, you know, do their thing or whatever. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, long story short, they continue to keep playing the game. People continue to keep dying until they figure out, like, oh, like the game is fucking killing us and shit like that. And they were like, we got to figure out a way to stop it. And it's up to Hutch and his new girlfriend. What's her name in the fucking film? Abigail. It's up to Hutch and Abigail to track down the developer of the game, and they find out that the developer of the game was at the Loomis mansion where the game takes place, and they infiltrate the mansion or whatever, and that's when they come in contact with the Countess herself, who starts to cheat in the game and just starts fucking killing people and, like, you know, just forgoes the fucking rules of the fucking horror movie, which I always wonder why the villains in horror movies, like, you know what I mean, that they set up these rules and shit like that, and like halfway through they're just like, man, fuck the rules, I'm just gonna kill all these fucking people because we're running out of fucking time. The movie's only an hour and fucking 37 minutes and we're down to fucking 15 minutes, so people gotta start dying. So it just starts killing everybody, and then Hutch finds the kind of preserved body of the fucking Countess, and he like is like, oh, I gotta put some nails into her fucking head because that's what you do. And so he starts doing that, and basically they kill the Countess and they burn the house down, but it's for nothing because we end up finding out that after all their fighting and stuff like that, the game ends up going live and somehow becomes a PS2 exclusive, and it fucking starts getting global. You know what I mean? Everybody with the PS2, which if y'all remember, the PS2 fucking sold like fucking hotcakes. Everybody and their fucking mom had a PS2 at one point. I think at one point, if you bought a fucking house or like rented a fucking house, they'd give you a fucking free PS2. I think that's how many fucking PS2s were out in the fucking market at that point. But yeah, the game goes live, which they don't explain that to us. They don't even explain like how the game gets really made. They don't really explain a whole lot of stuff. And that, you know what I mean? That's a true horror movie fashion. And they're like, we're not going to explain everything to you. It's Stay Alive. It's a video game in which the video game kills people. Y'all don't need the whole fucking explanation for fucking everything. Just know that it's a ghost story within a video game within a ghost story. Whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, that's what it is, alright? Take it for what it is. And to be honest with you, I did take it for what it is. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, it wasn't too serious. It didn't take itself too serious. It was a fun little, like, kind of like PG-13, pushing the boundaries of PG PG-13. It was like mid-2000s PG-13. You can tell like this film wanted to be rated R, and I guess that's why they released a unrated version of this film, because it did kind of want to be rated R. I don't see why they didn't add like more sex, more gamer shit, you know what I mean? And just, I don't know. But the only thing that I can say that was unrealistic about this film is that a group of fucking annoying guys, nerdy guys, would be so willing to let fucking chicks play games with them. I don't know if I've ever played online games ever, but anytime there's a fucking chick playing games in the lobby, she gets torn to fucking shreds and gets all the shit talked to her. So that's the only fucking thing that I think was unbelievable in this fucking movie. But yeah, Ghouls and Gals, I really enjoyed Stay Alive. In summary, I think it's one of those films that really deserved cult status, but for some reason or another, it never gained it. And I think it never gained it because it's very, like, not a well-known movie. I feel like more people need to watch this movie. We need to keep this fucking movie alive. We need to keep the fucking game alive and make sure it stays alive. But there you have your Ghouls and Gals. Stay Alive is I want to say it's like a solid 2.5 out of like 5 stars. It's, again, definitely a film that needs more, a little bit of appreciation. Throw a little bit more appreciation when you mention Stay Alive. It's a little corny, goofy, fun, mid-2000s horror film that I honestly enjoyed fucking watching, man. There you have it, Ghouls and Gals. Ryan.T, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Saturday Night Horror Theater. And like always, Ghouls and Gals, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.